Hey, what's up, my friends? Welcome back to another episode of Keys to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Sam, and I'm here to help you liberate from your flesh, define your purpose, and live the life that you came here to live. And today, my friends, I've got another powerful audiobook for you. And you can think of this as a part 3 to the last 2 videos that I've done. Because the first one, we were talking about the hidden laws within the matrix, and the matrix being the biological computer, the planned net for your soul. So within this planned net, what I call the matrix, we then get the holographic expression, what we call planet Earth, what we call the universe. Right, as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything is a reflection from within. And the laws that we see out in this universe is a reflection of the laws that are happening within us. And then we moved into part 2. And part 2 was the real work is the shadow work. And I spoke about the real work in spiritual transformation. Right? How you actually change your life around. And today, my friends, I'm going to be sharing with you how to become a powerful sorcerer within your reality, a magician or a sorceress. Right? Or a wizard or a witch. The word witch means wise. So today I title this audiobook, How to Pull Down Fire from Heaven. Right, so you're going to understand what I'm speaking about as this video unfolds. What I'm talking about is controlling the physical realm with the spiritual realm. I'm talking about living the life that you came here to live. Right, the number 2, when we spoke about the real work is the shadow work, we were talking about liberating from the flesh. And we were talking about healing the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and being in alignment on the inside, right? We see so much division in the world. That's because there's division on the inside, right? But today, my friends, we're going one step further, and we're taking this into wizardry. We're taking this into the life path that you actually came here to live. So I'm going to be breaking down, illuminating and simplifying how to pull down fire from heaven. Right, how to pull the spiritual realm into the physical realm. So a long time ago, when I first got into this sort of work, or when I first went through a spiritual awakening, I came across a quote saying, "The universe reveals its secrets to those that dare to follow their heart." And I was in a dangerous time in my life. I was in a dark time. I was in a dark place. And when I heard that quote, it really resonated in my heart. And I was at the point where I didn't know whether I wanted to be alive or not. And I thought to myself, right, what am I going to do? What am I going to do in this time? Am I going to kill myself? Am I going to keep walking forward? Am I going to listen to my heart right now? It's saying the universe reveals its secrets to those that dare to follow their heart. What I'm teaching you right now is the most important lesson I have learned along my spiritual journey, and the most life-changing information you will hear, because it is the most real, right? So the real knowledge, the real transformational process on this journey comes from your own experience. And so you can hear quotes like this. You can read things in a book. But it's not until you actually apply it to your life that now you get true wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. Let that sink in. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. Knowledge means knowing things. Right, so let me break that down. Imagine you as an alien right? You're a grey or a Pleiadian, right? And you don't know nothing about Earth. And you were given a book. Let's just say you were given the book David Icke, everything you need to know, but you've never been told. And you're this alien, you've just got this book, you read through it all, but you don't know nothing about Earth. So you know all this stuff, but you haven't got the experience of applying it to Earth because you've never been there, right? So it's not until you actually go there and you see what life is like, right? So there's two sides to the spectrum of the polarity of not truly understanding life, right? And in a recent video, I gave one side, and I said that many people, they go through life and they think that their age qualifies them as wise, right? So you might speak to them and they'll say, what do you know? You're only 25 years old. You're only 28 years old. You're only 18 years old. I'm more smart than you because I'm older than you, right? And I said, that's not always true. However, the same applies at the other end of the scale. If you are 18 years old, 20 years old, 22 years old, if you have just gone through a spiritual awakening and it's been a year or so, right, you might have read a lot of books, right? You might have done a lot of studying, and you might have had quite a few experiences in that time. Like I say, you can experience more in the first 10, 20 years of your life than some people ever have in a whole lifetime. And by experience, I mean the deep depths, the layers within yourself, right? We're like onions right now, like Shrek said. You're peeling back the layers. You're understanding yourself on a deeper and deeper level. However, there's still a flaw in that as well. Right? That's the other end of the scale, because if you apply what you learn, you're doing the studying, you're reading your books, you're listening to podcasts like this. Later on down the line, if you keep applying that and you keep learning from the knowledge, the true knowledge, which means following your heart, right? Facing your fears, letting love guide you, not fear. That's how you get true knowledge. If you're applying this along your journey, if you're following the right path, if you stay on that path, then imagine how wise you're going to be compared to the person that didn't do that, that just got in the mundane, Groundhog's Day, never went out of their comfort zone, never learnt anything. Imagine the difference in consciousness between those two people. And now, imagine the 20-year-old, it's that same person, it's the younger person. It's you when you were younger, right? Let's just say, right now, you're 22 years old and you know a lot, right? You're clever and you've read a lot of books. And maybe you've just started following your heart and you're taking your life into your own hands. You are becoming a warrior amongst men. You're the star in your own movie. Imagine where you'll be in 10 years' time if you keep going, if you keep grinding and shining, right? I always say, this time next year, I'm going to look back at myself now and think, damn, I was an idiot. Damn, I was a fool back then. I knew nothing, right? And although you've got to be grateful of where you are, true wisdom is about being humble, right? And not trying to bring anyone else down so that you can bring yourself up, or trying to put yourself above anyone else. That's just all ego. It's irrelevant. We're all on our own individual paths, and you're not really connected to any other souls in that sense, right? Obviously we're all connected, we're all one, but the point is, the real competition isn't out there. It's you against you. It's you against your own fears. And the whole point in the competition is to become one within yourself and to really know yourself, know what it is that you are here to do, follow that intuitive path. And so I'm going to share with you today how to pull down fire from heaven, how to live the right path in life. And this is where so many people get confused. Right, so when I was back in the day, right, I'd just come across that quote, "The universe reveals its secrets to those that dare to follow their heart." I also came across a book called The Alchemist by, is it Paulo Coelho? I really recommend it, especially if you're at the early stages in your spiritual awakening, because believe you me, there's levels to this shit, right? And you're going to completely be a different person in a years from now, a couple of years down the line, 6 months from now. You're going to be in a completely different space, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And along this journey, you're going to become a warrior, what I call a spiritual warrior, a conscious warrior. Because you're going to have battled so many hurdles within yourself. You're going to be so powerful. And where this starts, this whole thing I'm talking about today, living the right life for yourself, it all starts with your intention, right? And intention comes from the inspiration that you get, right? And inspiration is spirit entering your system. Right, so your spirit, your inspiration that's in you right now gives birth to your intention, right? And then your intention, right, you can only take action from that intention if you have faith. So it all starts with faith, and that's why so many people love religion, right? It all starts with faith. Faith is a beautiful thing, but I'm not saying externalize your power to some deity. I'm saying have faith to follow that thing in your chest. What is that? What is that thing in your chest? That thing beating. That thing that can break if your relationship goes tits up. That thing that can feel so much joy and pleasure. And wherever you are, whatever you're going through, know that it's not over. This too shall pass. Whatever scars you've had on your heart, right, is building the character of who you become. It makes you stronger. That's what we're here for, to live and to learn love. Right, but it all starts with faith. Are you going to follow that? Are you going to follow your heart in a world that is backwards and does not do that? Everyone is so afraid, right? And it's like that beautiful poem. I won't say the whole thing because I don't know it off by heart, but our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, it's that we are powerful beyond measure, right? It's not our fear that we're most afraid of, it's our light, because think about it. If you shine brightly, you think everyone else, is gonna bring down other people somehow. But actually, your light inspires other people. Right, so from faith, from shining, from just going for it, right? It might be uncertainty. You might be the black sheep, right? You might be the odd one out. But from that faith comes knowledge. Like, for example, let me just give you a cheesy example. If this is true knowledge, your experience, right? If you want to learn how to ride a bike, you can read the manual. You can read the manual. You can watch someone else do it, right? You can hear my experience. But the true knowledge comes from getting on that motherfucker, right? Get on that bike, and now you're going to learn how to ride it, right? Is that right? The same thing applies in everything. So it's your faith, you face your fears, you take action, you actually live. That's why I say the real shadow work, the real work is not the theory, right? It's the application. It's living your life. That's the real work. So from the knowledge, the newfound knowledge you've just got because you faced your fears, because you rode that bike, you've got knowledge. Now you have clarity. Now you have clear focus. Now you have clarity, right? And from clarity, right, now you have discipline, right? Now you can have discipline because now you know what it is you're supposed to be doing. Now your life can be orderly, right? And you're going to be so busy grinding and shining that people will come up to you and be like, they'll message you, do you want to do this tonight? And you'll be like, no, sorry, I can't do that, I'm busy, I've got things to do. And people, like, I see this all the time, people always message me, they just want to meet up randomly. Everyone's just going about their life, think they're just here for some vacation, right? But everything on this planet has a purpose. I've got a purpose, you've got a purpose, everything has a purpose, my camera has a purpose. And it's not until you know your purpose and you're actually living it that now your life becomes orderly. You've actually got something to do. But let me digress. That means jump back a space, right? Because that's the true power, what I just shared with you. But I've got to break it down. I've got to explain it. I've got to illuminate it. I've got to simplify it for you. What are you talking about, Sam? We're talking about how to pull down fire from heaven. Fire, which is an element. Fire, which is flame, which is power from heaven, right? And what we need to understand is everything is frequency. Everything exists on a frequency plane. Angels, they are the elements. I've done a video on working with divine beings, right? And we went through this. Everything is frequency. All is frequency. And what activates your flame is your frequency. So what I'm talking about right now is what gives you that fire inside, the fire within, right? What is it that gives you that fire within? Where is that fire within? Because only the brave people, the courageous people, ever approach the flame. So you might get burnt in life, you might go through some troubles, you might go through some stuff. When you get on that bike for the first time, you might fall over, right? It's not easy, it's dangerous, but yeah, you might get burnt, but only the brave ever approach that flame within, right? If it was so easy, everyone would be doing it, but it's not easy, right? What I'm talking about, it's not easy. How do I know? Because I've been doing it for a long time. I know, right? It's not something I read in a book. I know. Or maybe I got the quote from a book, but I know because I've been living it. I know because I've had to face my shadow. I know because I've lost friends. I've lost people I cared about because I saw their true colours. Right? There's no point having people in your life when you see their true colours. There's no point staying around people like that. Well, you want people in your life that inspire you. You want people in your life that have your back, right? You don't have to believe what I believe, but I'll support you all the way. I want to see you grinding and shining. I want to see you happy, successful. And if people aren't willing enough to have an open mind enough just to accept you, then get out of here. No time for that. Because the world needs you, the world needs me, the world needs lights right now. That's why we're in darkness, because everyone's so goddamn scared. And people are only not shining because they're scared. Why are they scared? Because everyone else is scared, and everyone else is a bunch of sheeps. Bunch of sheep. Sheeple. So what I'm talking about is awakening the fire within. If you want to awaken the fire within, what you got to do? What have you got to do? You've got to have something that you care about, and that's what we spoke about in the Hidden Laws of the Matrix video. So what is it that you care about? Right, many people in the New Age movement, we get caught up thinking it's stupid to get angry. Wow, that could not be further from the truth. Look at Sadhguru, he said that. He said it's stupid to get angry. And this is why you can't believe every single guru you come across, right? I love Sadhguru. I think he's got some amazing work, and I would always recommend him to people. But I don't trust him. I don't trust him 100%. There's definitely flaws in his work. He's definitely got his own agendas, and he definitely does things. He's not always speaking from the truth. He's doing it to manipulate, to get what he wants in life. Because sometimes, if I tell you the truth, I'm not going to be popular. It doesn't make you popular. It doesn't make you money. But the truth will set you free, and that's what you want anyway. But again, people like this, they're very intelligent, and they know how to massage people's egos. Right? If you want to make money, massage people's egos. But I'm not saying that money is a bad thing, right? I love money, and I've got money, right? Money is coming to me, and, it is something that we use as a currency of exchange. I'm not demonizing money, but the point is, and you can make money from telling the truth, right? You can. Let me just put that out there. You can, right? But it's not the easiest way of making money, shall I say? Because people, when people are brainwashed, which they are, and you show them the truth, most people are brainwashed. You'd rather just, if you just go along with whatever they believe and you tell them something, you're going to make a sale. But if you tell people the truth, you're only going to make a sale with those of them that have an open mind. Because when truth comes in contact with brainwashing, the ego repels the truth, right? The brainwashing naturally repels it. It's called cognitive dissonance. So the real work is based in love and compassion. It's based in helping people. Thankfully, we are going through an awakening. More and more people are waking up. So we need to see that the power on this planet is within us. We need to see that people are struggling. The world is decaying. There is people with dark agendas on this planet, right? There is suffering tremendously happening on this planet, and most of it is self-caused, because the real work is to stop causing yourself self-suffering, right? And then you will claim your birthright, which is freedom. And now you've got freedom, and your freedom is increasing, and you're creating magic in your life. Now you can inspire other people. And then slowly around the world, the lights go on, right? And the freedom starts to take place in our world. We haven't got freedom right now in the collective, because people are not seeking knowledge. They do not care about the world and about freedom, right? They care about their little Starbucks. They care about their nonsense. They like being a slave. They don't care about animals. They don't care about the earth, right? And last but not least, people haven't got the courage to speak up and live the life from the truth, right? And the flame comes when you get righteous indignation, which means you are angry because you can see injustice in the world, or whatever it is that gives you righteous indignation. For me, I see a lot of suffering in the world. I am pissed off with the amount of brainwashing, right? The forced jabs in the arm. Right, I'm pissed off because the world could be such a beautiful place. And don't get me wrong, I'm not just going around angry all the time. But because I see that, it gives me a flame within. It gives me fire within. It gives me motivation. I get up and I'm here every single day. Right, sometimes I take days off, and it's okay to take days off. Right, it's okay to rest. Don't be an idiot. Sometimes it's okay to chill out. Get a takeaway, right? Make sure it's healthy, like a vegan, at least. And, it's okay, try your best to stay as healthy as possible. Sometimes it's okay to relax, what I'm saying. With your health, it's 80-20, right? You don't have to be, only eating organic everything and perfect assimilation of food every single day. Sometimes you can relax yourself a bit. You're on Earth, right? You're a human. If you're going traveling, sometimes you haven't got the best things to eat. So if your body's used to eating perfectly healthy all the time, then, you know, you're going to suffer when you go traveling. All right, and take it from my experience, right? I've been traveling and I was like that, and my body had to adjust whilst I was out there. Luckily it did, but my point is, you can relax a little bit. The point is, the real flame within is what heals your life. The flame within is what heals your life, because you're waking up, you're a light coming on, right? Your spiritual light comes on and you create heaven on earth, right? This is why I'm saying you got to pull down fire from heaven, right? Righteous indignation, right? Righteous means being right. I am right. I'm right that you are not allowed to take an action. You have no right to take an action. You've got free will, but you've got no right to take an action that harms another being, that willfully harms another being, right? You have no right to impose your will on someone else, right? Meaning to force them against their will to do something, right? That means you're right, I'm right, that is right. You're not allowed to do that, right? You've got no right to do that, shall I say. You can, but spiritually it goes against the laws of the universe. So you get bad karma for that. So then you create chaos in your life. But wait a minute, being free is your birthright. If you want to get that right to be free in this world, then you have to live in alignment with the natural laws of the universe. So you want righteous indignation, right? That's the flame, that's the fire within. That's what oils the wheels of creativity. Just so happens that creating money on this planet comes from giving solutions, right, to problems. So luckily for us, there's a lot of problems on this planet, so we can provide the solutions, and then we can get what we are, which is money. We are money. Money is wealth. Wealth is spirituality, right? Money just so happens has the word one eye. If you just get the M, flip it on a side and put it at the end, you'll get one eye. But the point is, currency, your spiritual currency, is what gets you physical currency. Spiritual currency gets you physical currency, right? So you need to be spiritually in alignment. If you're in alignment, you're going to be getting... It's so funny, as I said that, the time in here was 11:11, right, on the little clock. And anyway, the point is, you want to be in your alignment, in spiritual alignment, because I'm here to help you control the physical plane with the spiritual plane. That means you pull down fire from heaven. That means you pull in source code. That means you pull in inspiration from nothingness. That's your birthright. You're a creator. You can create life. You can create on this plane. That's what you're here to do. Right? You're little G right now. Little God. So the point is, right, maybe the greatest heroes on this planet, the legendary warriors amongst men, are those that are just pure of heart, but they get awoken by fury, right? They are awake, and it was caused by fury, right? You saw injustice. I saw my brother, he hung himself. Why? Because the whole system's backwards, as I later came to learn. Because the support wasn't there for him. Because men don't know how to express themselves. So I learned. So I was awoken by fury. And that set me on the path. And I soon learned that you turn into whatever you tune into. So what you're pulling in to your physical reality depends on your frequency. And your frequency is your inspiration. Your frequency comes from what you're tuned into. I'm tuned into source code. I'm tuned into inspiration. I'm tuned into the inner world, my intuition, my intuitive capabilities. I'm tuned into that. So that's why I'm grinding and shining every single day, because this is all coming through right now. It's all coming through. Right, I get downloads, I write them down. Right, that's a great idea. And I put it all together, and then I come out here, I'm grinding and shining. I'm sharing with you. I'm lighting you up. Then you get the ripple effect. Right, same way, whatever I tune into and whatever you tune into, you turn into. So you got to be careful what you're listening to. Why do you think the media, mainstream, why do you think every single day they show up with their fear-mongering? They show up every single day, don't they? Every single time you look at your phone, it just pops up on your phone these days, don't it? You know, you just scroll to the left if you've got a Samsung or whatever, an Android, a smartphone. Straight away it just comes up on your phone. It tells you how many deaths there's been and stuff. Because they know that your frequency is tuning into their frequency. Therefore, you're going to be creating the physical plane based on that frequency. So I'm tapping into my spiritual, right? And I know I live my life by my numbers, right? I'm a life path number 1. So I've got to light the way, and that's what I'm doing. So what they've done on this planet is they've dumbed down the spiritual power of people that you know. Not me and you, we're grinding and shining. But people that you know, right, their spiritual power is dumbed down. They don't know themselves. They've got the wrong information. They're tuning into the nonsense. Therefore, they're creating nonsense. They're not living in alignment with natural law. Right, so it's their brainwashing, right? The brainwashing is because of what they've been tuned into. Right, you got to tune out to tune in. Right, so what are you tuned into? And that's how you control the physical plane with the spiritual plane. Right, so what I'm talking about is there's streams of consciousness. Every single thought that you have is a stream of consciousness. Every thought that you have is a stream of consciousness. And consciousness expresses itself in 3 ways within this matrix. And that is maths, music, and language. Right? All things that are a part of your body. Maths. Scrunch your hand up as a fist and look at the spiral from your thumb round to your finger. The Fibonacci sequence. Right? You've got maths throughout your whole being. Everything is calculated within your being. One layer of this matrix is digital. That's why I like numerology, because it's spot on. And you're also a musical being, right? You've got an eardrum, a heartbeat, organs. What else? And then language, right? Your tongue is the most dangerous weapon on this planet, because words create worlds, right? Language, so powerful. Words create worlds, right? You are literally bending matter with your words. Think about how you employ your tongue is literally casting spells. That's why they call it spelling when you go to school. You go to school out to learn how to spell, except they teach you a load of nonsense so that you create stupid nonsense. So that you create inverted, against, it's distorted reality, right? They're dumbing down your spiritual power, right? So if you can create with divine mathematics, right? Meaning you're living your life purpose based on your numbers, right? What's your life path number? And you can create harmony with your voice. Some people sing. Some people create like I am right now. You can create in many different ways. Maybe you're a dancer, still music, right? Movement, right? Maybe you create with force and you put a lot of passion into what you're doing. And language. What language are you using? Are you moving forward? Right? It's one of the laws is vibration. Right? The law of vibration means everything's moving. But are you moving? I like how this motivational speaker once said it. He said, we must keep moving. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. I like that. So these three things, maths, music and language, are all expressions of frequency. So how are you expressing yourself in your life? So what happens right along this path is you need to have faith, right? So for me, let me give you an example. I created Keys to the Kingdom and I thought to myself, I don't know why Source, God, whatever you want to call it, the inspirations that I'm getting, my intuition, is telling me to create Keys to the Kingdom. Because, I've got a couple of ideas I could put on there, like my best work. But I'm already giving my best work on YouTube. So, if I'm already giving my best work on YouTube, how can I up my game and make more quality than I already am? I'm already pushing myself out. I'm already, doing what Source is telling me to do. So I didn't understand at that moment, fully understand what was going to happen in the next few weeks, months. But here we are, still grinding and shining, over 50 videos later. Right, so what I'd done in that moment is I had faith in my intuition, in the inspiration, right? And I acted as if, right, this is it, right? I'm confident. I know, you've just got to trust. Why did I trust? Because it's happened in the past for me already. I've seen this so many times. I've seen miracles, I've seen blessings. Every single challenge that I've had up to now where I've had to face my fear and let love guide me, I saw the outcome already. So that's why I had faith. That's why I was confident. So I acted as if, right, I just knew, all right, fair enough, let's do it. Right, I've seen it so many times. We've been here before. Right? And what happens is if you act as if, the knowledge will be given to you. It will be delivered like a little parcel into your conscious mind, into your subconscious, as inspiration from Source. That's called a stream of consciousness, because I've activated, right? I've got my intention, right? I'm going to do Keys to the Keys to the Kingdom, right? I took action. I had faith. I acted as if, right? It's happening. I know, right? And then knowledge starts to be delivered. So as I'm making my videos, it just comes to me. Sometimes I'm like, where did that come from? Wow. And every single day I'm like, I better make this video today. I've got some inspiration to make this video, how to pull down fire from heaven. Right? I've got this inspiration to make this audiobook, right? And if I don't do it, I guarantee tomorrow I'm going to have a whole new download and then I'm going to be behind. So I better get up. I better do this. And then I'll post this video and I bet you there'll be someone out there listening to this thinking, wow, I well needed to hear that today. So can you see how because I am taking action, I've drawn towards me people like you listening to this that need to hear this message or want to hear this message. For some reason you're here. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here listening to this. Just think about that, right? That's called magic, right? That's called synchronicity. That's called soul family. That's called soul tribe, whatever you want to call it. There is no accidents when it comes to spirituality. When it comes to following your heart, there's no accidents. There is accidents if you stay in Groundhog's Day. But eventually you'll wake up, or you better, because otherwise, maybe in the next life, right? So what happens is, because I'm putting myself out there, there's now many forces creating my inspiration, right? For example, at first it was just me, right? So the flame It's just my flame, right? But now I'm lighting you up, so now you have a flame. Now we've joined forces. Now our flames are brighter together. So now the inspiration is stronger. So now I'm connected with you, and we're both getting these downloads, and I'm getting more powerful downloads because there's more people vibing. There's more people in the tribe. There's more people on that frequency. It's a clearer frequency. It's like when you're tuning yourself on a radio station, right? And you know when it's all blurry because you're not quite on the right station, right? I can hear it a bit, but remember, you're only on day one, right, of facing your fear. You're still having faith, right? You're still, you still haven't really faced your fears yet. It's that time when the inspirations come in, right? The inspiration comes in, it's a little bit foggy, you're still getting a little bit of download from it, and then all of a sudden, right, when you take action, you start writing it down, right? Now more comes, right? Now more comes. Then when you take action, you make a video like this, and I put it out there. Now more comes, right? Because I'm tuning into your frequency. Because remember, time is an illusion. So you might listen to this a year from now. You might be listening to this a year from now, but I'm right here with you. And you might think, well, what the hell? That is a trippy thought, but your synchronicity is lining up with me right now, and it has nothing to do with time and space, right? Because that's an illusion. That's why I love this path as well, because it's a legacy you can leave behind. So everyone's work on this planet should be a legacy that you're leaving behind, right? It is. It's your legacy you're leaving behind. Even if you're a single parent and your job is to show others, whether it's just through your actions and you don't even make videos, right? I recommend you do, but even if it's just like that, subconsciously it's having a ripple effect on everyone around you, because people don't learn by you telling them, they learn by seeing, by watching you, right? It's a subconscious thing. It just picks up in your subconscious, because the subconscious governs over 95% of your life. The subconscious is governed by imagery, right? It works on imagery. Well, it works in sound as well, but imagery is a massive part of it, right? So the key to this is to trust your intuition. The key to this is to face your fears. Go for it. What are you waiting for, right? You don't learn about life until you actually live it. And some people aren't living it. Most people aren't living it. So you can't come to me 60 years of age and think that you're wiser because you're that age. Fair enough. You will be wiser than me if you've been facing your fears and letting love guide you. And I hold my hands up. I'm not trying to sound better than anyone. The point is, what makes someone wise is facing your fears and now following your heart. Now you are controlling the physical with the spiritual. So you are becoming spirit amongst flesh. You're living the life that you came here to live as a spiritual being having a human experience. I say you got to grind and shine, because that means you got to live your life as a human. It is a bit of a grind, isn't it? You got to get up, you got to get your flame going, right? You've got to show up in the world. That's the grind, right? The flesh. But shining, right? That's the spirit. Right? So you came here to transcend the limitations of your flesh, because guess what? Flesh is the matter, and you are light, you are spirit trapped in matter. That's the planned net for your soul. That's the body. Right? So you are shining within the matter. You've got to shine on planet Earth. So if you're not grinding and shining, you're not living the life you came here to live. Wow. So my friends, we'll leave it there today. But that is how you become a sorcerer, a sorceress, a magician. You live a magical life and not just an average life. And of course, if you want to have a one-to-one session with me, I'm grinding and shining. I will light you up, right? I'm not here to please your ego though, right? I'm here to illuminate you, spirit amongst flesh. And that's what I'm doing, right? If you want to speak to me, get in touch with me. If you want to get a hold of my subliminals, right? If you want personalized subliminals, get in touch with me. I'm here to light the way for others to follow. I want to see you grinding and shining, and then I'm going to follow you. We'll do this together, right? So we've all got our own path. We've all got our own lanes, right? You got to start swimming in your lane. You don't want to swim in the lane everyone else is in, right? You don't want to. There's too much traffic in that selfish path of not following your heart. So I want to see you following your heart. I want to see you grinding and shining. So get in touch with me if you hear the call to do so. And with that being said, my friends, it is always my pleasure to be here shining and sharing with you this information. Thank you so much for being here and supporting my work. I really appreciate you. And until next time, my friends, peace and love.